I'm very excited about this daily cancellation. I finally get a chance to cancel Anne Hathaway.
With abortion, and I don't think we talk about this enough, abortion can be another word for mercy.
Our country has failed us.
As her fellow judges comfort her, they start patting her on the back and comforting her while the kid who was actually in the shooting stands there and watches.
I'm not just trying to placate you, I swear. But I don't know what else to do.
Imagine a world where celebrities stick to what they know best, entertaining us. No more political rants, no more life advice from failed relationships. Sounds peaceful, right? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Well, we're not there yet, but Matt Walsh is on a mission to expose the absurdity of celebrity wokeness. He's got the solution to this Hollywood madness, and you're gonna want to hear it. You ever notice how celebrities love telling us how to live? It's like, dude, you live in a mansion. The rest of us are out here struggling to pay rent, and you're lecturing us about saving the planet? Give me a break. Let's talk about Katy Perry. She's all about empowering women, right? Except when it comes to school shooting survivors. This kid's on American Idol talking about losing his friends in a tragedy, and Katy somehow makes it all about her. Classic narcissist move. But wait, it gets worse. She starts crying and her fellow judges comfort her. Meanwhile, the survivor's just standing there awkwardly, probably thinking, I'm the one who went through this. It's like, hello? Earth to Katy. This ain't about you, honey.
Eight students were killed, 2 teachers were killed, and it's just really been negative, man. What you doing, Katie?
Our country has failed us.
Facts.
You know what's really messed up? These celebs are living in a whole different universe. Katy Perry's worth like $330 million. That's more money than most of us will see in 10 lifetimes. And she's crying over someone else's tragedy. Come on. And don't even get me started on how much these celebs charge for their activism. It's a whole industry. They're not doing this out of the goodness of their hearts. It's all about image, staying relevant, and yeah, making more money. So how did Katy Perry make a school shooting survivor's story all about herself by turning on the waterworks and stealing the spotlight? It's like she couldn't handle not being the center of attention for 5 minutes. The kid's talking about losing friends and she's getting comforted. That's next level self-absorption right there.
I hope that you remind people that we have to change. Because you know what? I'm scared too.
If someone is telling you about something awful that happened to them, your response should not contain the words I or me. As her fellow judges comfort her, they start patting her on the back and comforting her while the kid who was actually in the shooting stands there and watches.
This is not okay. You should be singing here because you love music.
It's true.
Not because you have to go through that.
But Katy's not the only one. There's a whole crew of celebs who can't stop putting their foot in their mouth. They're so out of touch. It's like they're living on another planet. A planet where the biggest problem is which designer to wear to the next awards show. You know what's really wild? These celebs actually think we care what they think. Like, seriously? We're supposed to take life advice from people who play pretend for a living. Maybe it's time we start looking at these celebrity opinions for what they really are. Entertainment. Because that's all it is, folks. Just another show.
And maybe worst of all, you're creating an incredibly awkward situation for everyone else who has to be in the room with your lack of self-awareness. Attempting to put yourself at the center of this person's suffering or deflect from it so that the focus is on you and your own emotions, then you are a classic narcissist. I can only imagine how uncomfortable it must have been for that young man to be standing there, not sure what to say.
So these celebs think they're entertaining us with their opinions? Well, we're about to dive into some real Hollywood hypocrisy. Ever wonder what happens when a princess and a comedian decide they're political experts? It ain't pretty. Let me tell you. Remember Anne Hathaway? You know, the girl from Princess Diaries.
Yet even amidst all of that, Anne Hathaway managed to be irritating and insufferable on a level that even Russell Crowe's blubbering off-key performance couldn't reach.
Well, she's got opinions now, and boy, does she love to share them. At the 16th anniversary of The Devil Wears Prada, Anne decided it was the perfect time to talk about Roe v. Wade. Yeah, you heard that right, because nothing says fashion comedy like abortion rights. Am I right? But wait, it gets better. Anne wasn't just worried about real women. No, she was concerned about the reproductive destiny of the fictional characters from the movie. I swear, I'm not making this up. She's out here fretting over made-up people, while real folks are struggling. Talk about being out of touch.
Hathaway also claims that she's not interested in having a moral conversation about abortion, but rather a practical conversation about women's rights. To call such a choice reproductive destiny seems bizarre, to say the least.
Then we've got Will Ferrell. Funny guy, right? Well, he's not so funny when he's busy trashing half the population. At some women's event, Will decided to drop this gem. Isn't it just time for women to run the planet?
I'm not just trying to placate you, I swear. But I don't know what else to do. Forget about the entertainment world. Isn't it just time? Isn't it just time for women to run the planet?
We men have been running things since 10,000 BC, and we're not doing so good. Guess he forgot about all the stuff men built, like, I don't know, civilization? It's like these celebs live in a different world. Oh wait, they do. They're sitting in their mansions, worth millions, telling us regular folks how to think and live.
I also realize that this is coming from Will Ferrell, who's not exactly known for his wisdom or insight. Now, I understand this is mostly just the typical Hollywood girl power shtick. Still, it's worth pointing out that everything he said there, which is the kind of thing you hear all the time these days, is absolute nonsense.
The hypocrisy is off the charts. They preach about social change while sipping champagne by their private pools. And here's the real kicker. They want us to take them seriously. Like, seriously? You're gonna lecture us about politics when your job is to play pretend? Give me a break. These people barely finished high school, and now they're experts on everything from climate change to foreign policy. Matt Walsh nails it when he says we should be skeptical of these celebrity opinions. They're not experts, they're entertainers, but they've got millions of followers hanging on their every word. It's like they're using their fame as a megaphone to shout nonsense, and people are eating it up. So how are these celebs showing their hypocrisy? By living lives of luxury while preaching about equality. By crying over fictional characters when real people are suffering. By dismissing half the population's contributions to score woke points. It's all a big show, folks, and we're the ones paying for the tickets. So what's the deal with all these celebs thinking they're experts on everything? It's like they got a PhD in world problems along with their Oscar. Newsflash, playing a doctor on TV doesn't make you a real one. Here's a wild idea. Maybe we should stop taking life advice from people who make a living pretending to be someone else. I mean, would you ask your plumber for stock market tips? Probably not, right? Next time some Hollywood hotshot starts preaching about politics or telling you how to live your life, remember this. Just because they're famous doesn't mean they're right. In fact, a study shows only 25% of Americans trust celebrities on social issues, compared to 70% who trust actual experts. Guess what? The other 75% of us are onto something. It's time we stop letting these millionaires in mansions tell us how the real world works. They're living in La La Land, and I don't mean the movie. So next time a celeb starts running their mouth about stuff they don't know, just change the channel. Trust me, your brain will thank you.